Yo, what's up guys? Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we'll be going over the brand new patch notes for Battlefield 6's biggest and most impactful update yet. That isn't clickbait, that isn't to make you try to watch more of the video. This is some real deal stuff mentioned in this update. We got netcode, gunplay, vehicle changes. I'll leave timestamps in the description. If you haven't played Battlefield 6 in a long time, or you just don't typically watch a lot of these videos, this is probably the one to watch because it is just so important. So, if you enjoy this content, if you find it informative, be sure to hit the sub button, hit the like button, and swing by the second channel and the streams. I should be playing in a $10,000 Red Sec tournament today, so you can follow that on my Twitch or the YouTube channel. Just to avoid any confusion, the update isn't out as of this video coming out. It releases June 30th, and this is the third part of Season 3. In terms of content, it's pretty much fuck all. We get a new event, a new game mode, and a new melee weapon. So the content really isn't the main focus here. It's all about the changes. So first up, we have some netcode changes. Obviously, netcode has been a massive topic of discussion throughout the entire community and continues to be. So let's keep our fingers crossed this update really makes a noticeable impact to the experience of just playing the game. Hopefully we die around cover less. This is what they have to say about it. They say this update continues the netcode and combat readability improvements we've been making throughout the season. Hit confirmations, damage feedback, server-side damage handling, bandwidth prioritization, and time nudge behavior have received further tuning to reduce delayed damage, late enemy position updates, and extreme cases of dying behind cover. In terms of specific netcode changes, they do mention that blood effects no longer appear on screen from shots that did not hit the player. That could make you think you hit somebody and you didn't, and they're higher HP, and it's just a whole mess. They also say that client hit confirmations now display faster when receiving damage. And all the rest of these changes seem to deal with damage feedback, how the server handles damage, making sure everything is synced between every single player on the server. So once again, let's just hope these netcode improvements really hit home in a great way. Next up is the biggest thing to do with this entire update, the gunplay changes. I made an entire video about the gunplay changes yesterday, but in this video today, they provide us with a lot more specific information regarding velocity changes, drag changes, spread changes, even recoil percentages they provide. So they say this: gunplay improvements. Core gunplay has been updated to reward more deliberate aim, better recoil control, and stronger weapon mastery. Damage multipliers, spread, muzzle velocity, bullet drag, recoil variation, and bolt action rifle sweet spot ranges have been adjusted so pacing shots, controlling recoil, and aiming for the upper body matter more consistently. TLDR, the gunplay is going to take more skill, and that's a great thing. So in terms of these specific changes, though, there are a lot. First up are specific changes to bolt action rifle sweet spots. They have nerfed these. They have reduced the distance the sweet spot covers, so you'll be sweet spotted by a sniper rifle far less often while you play the game. In my opinion, they should have just completely removed sweet spots from the game, but, you know, I'll take this, I guess. Next up are the changes to weapon ballistics, specifically bullet drag and muzzle velocity. They say that bullets now travel slightly slower and lose speed more quickly over distance, increasing the importance of leading moving targets and rewarding precision aim. They say they have increased bullet drag by 40% across all weapons and by 100% when using match-grade ammo, and then they list a ton of muzzle velocity reductions. The muzzle velocity reductions range from about a 4% nerf all the way up to a 9% nerf, with a couple outliers being the ES57 sidearm seeing a massive 21% reduction in muzzle velocity, and strangely, the KV9 SMG is the only weapon in the entire game that has actually seen its muzzle velocity increased by about 4%. Overall, though, in combination with the drag nerfs and the muzzle velocity reductions, you're going to have to lead your targets more at range, and even though it doesn't look like a lot on paper, because, 4%, 5% muzzle velocity reduction doesn't seem like it's a lot, you will absolutely be able to feel the difference when you boot up Battlefield 6 to play the game because of the drag changes that are universal alongside it. Next up, the developers provide percentages for how much they actually reduced the impact of random recoil on Gunplay, and they have reduced it significantly. On average, I would say they reduced random recoil's impact on Gunplay about 20%, but as you can see, some of the percentages are higher and lower than that based on what the gun is, but in general, when you boot up Battlefield 6, weapons should just feel more predictable, more controllable, and less erratic. The next massive thing they did is add damage multipliers to the game, or limb multipliers. If you hit a limb, an arm or a leg, or a lower torso, your damage will be reduced based on what weapon you're using and where you hit them. They're adding limb multipliers to the game to essentially just force you to be more accurate with your aim and with your shots. It's very important to understand when talking about limb multipliers that this isn't going to make gameplay inconsistent, because they have applied this really cool system where, let's say you're in a gunfight and it's just a straight 1v1, you're both facing each other, and you hit a guy in an arm. It's not going to take the arm damage, because if that bullet goes through his arm and hits him in the chest, it will always take the higher limb multiplier. So the limb multipliers are only going to matter if you are truly consistently missing center mass on your target. Next up, they have increased spread or dispersion on weapons by an average of 14%. And the way they increased it is really important, because they essentially increased what is called spread increase per shot. Without going into too much detail, it essentially just means that you'll become more inaccurate the longer you sustain fully automatic fire without burst firing or trying to tap fire. The spread or dispersion increase won't really matter within close range. This is pretty much specifically tailored to reel in weapons and make them less effective at hitting shots at distance, which is exactly what DICE should have done. Next up, we have further vehicle changes coming in this update, and DICE says this update builds on the vehicle changes introduced at the start of Season 3 with Galmud Railway, with further tuning to counterplay, survivability, and weapon consistency. IFVs, MBTs, mobile anti-air, attack helicopters, smoke systems, countermeasures, lock-on behavior, and vehicle weapon damage have been adjusted to further refine their combat roles. The big ticket items in this section are definitely the RPG buff. The RPG can now, once again, two-shot a tank if you hit it in the ass twice, which is a staple of the franchise, and I'm really not too sure why they ever got rid of it. They also decided to buff attack helicopter heavy rocket damage, as well as nerf the 120mm APFSDS rounds for the main battle tanks, while also increasing the blast radius and damage of the main battle tank's Heat T round, or HE rounds. And finally, they actually increased the aim-guided shells damage as well for the MBT. The IFV saw buffs across the board to its armor-piercing shells. It now pierces the projectile intercept system. Its velocity was increased. It shoots faster. And the lock-on guided missile damage has also been increased. So, huge update for IFV enjoyers. You're going to be extremely effective. And finally, some nerfs to thermal smoke. Thermal smoke no longer removes C4 from thin air. And the last major addition in this update is a very important one, I'm sure, for many of you. In the UI and HUD section, they have finally added a Mark All Scene button to loadouts, battle passes, to the store, profile, challenges, and play. This means you'll be able to get rid of the dreaded dots. In terms of everything else in the patch notes, it's just a lot of miscellaneous changes here and there. Some of them are really great, but honestly, if you want to see the rest, I'll link the patch notes in the description. Come June 30th, Battlefield 6 is going to feel like a completely different game, and I cannot tell you how much I am looking forward to that. It's going to feel more akin to an older Battlefield title. Slower muzzle velocity, having to burst fire, your weapons aren't as laser beamy. And I, for one, think this is the most important update the game has received so far. So let me know if you enjoyed the video or if you found this informative. If you did, be sure to hit the like button, hit the sub button, swing by the stream. I'm probably playing in a $10,000 RedSec tournament right now. Who knows if we're going to win? We're certainly going to fucking try. So the link to my Twitch, and obviously you're on the YouTube already, it'll all be in the description and the pinned comment. And if you enjoy fragrances or perfumes, I have a second channel regarding that. I've been uploading regularly. That will also be in the description. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video.